Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement of the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening. Gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Happy New Year, brethren. We are now embarking on the last 3.5 years of this tribulation period. Many people will this day will just kind of go by as just another day. For the heathen and the Gentiles, it'll be just another day closer to them getting to their normal with their vaccines. Even though the signs of their destruction are all around them. This is the time that our ancestors have waited for. We have been blessed to be alive and to have our eyes opened to be able to see the coming of our power. It is such a blessing to be able to see and to be alive during these days. There are signs all around that the Most High is leaving. Only the ones the Most High is working with will be able to interpret those signs and see what we're moving into. Yesterday, I was cracking up with checking out Big Levi's video with Biden falling 3 times. I mean, how often do you see the supposed leader of the free world, the leader of the most powerful country that this world has ever seen? How often do you see the leader slip and fall 3 times? Going up the stairs to Air Force One. That there is a sign showing you how they're falling. I want to say was it their Jesus and the Stations of the Cross fell 3 times as well as he was going to be crucified. So is there a connection now with Biden, him falling 3 times, and then this society getting ready to be crucified by the Most High? I was checking out Sister Lisa Cabrera's video this morning talking about the COVID-19 and the rates going up. The rates of infection, the amount of people getting infected is going up. It's about 17 out of 50 states, which pretty much works out to be about 33% of the states are now seeing rises, okay, in their numbers of people being infected by the plague. I think that number 33 again is another, just another happen or just by chance. So this is number 33. And the fact that these numbers are jumping like almost 50% or even above within a week. So it's not going to be like last year. See, about the 19th or 20th of last year was when the Most High shut everything down. I think around the 13th they labeled it like a pandemic, and then by the 20th they were shutting down society. It's not going to be some gradual uptick like they love to say. Since they're calling them just little upticks here and there, the Most High is going to make sure that it's going to get the whole world's notice how huge and quick these jumps are about to be. Their destruction is now going to be ramped up by the Father. It will be like, it won't be things that they can try to explain away. That's what they're good at. Always trying to explain away things. And see, they bring it on themselves, but that's how the Most High set it up. Remember now, in Egypt, there was a couple, they had the plagues kept ramping up more and more because of the disbelief of the people. So the heathen and the Gentiles, you're bringing it on yourself by trying to downplay what the Most High is doing. Oh yeah, COVID, yeah, we got that beat. That's no problem. We got the vaccines, and we're just trying to, you know, we're trying to roll out and beat the variants. How can you beat a variant that's already here? That doesn't make absolutely any sense to me. We're trying to outrun the variants, but the variants are already here. A couple weeks ago, one of the doctors on CNN said it was already at 30 to 40%. All of a sudden today, they're saying, "Oh no, 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 the variants are around 20 to 30%. The ones from the UK." So you're trying to scale back that time, just like they're trying to get that time back. They're trying to not have to admit the fact that, their time is over. The 400 years is done. The 400 years for us is complete. We've served our punishment. You guys are trying to, oh no, no, it's not. We're not at 50% yet. We're the UK. The UK. No, no, no. We're at 20 to 30. It was 20 to 30 a couple weeks ago. Now it's 20 to 30 again. Now are your numbers running backwards? You guys come up to the 400 and then work your way back to zero, and then your time is done. Is that how it works? No, you got to 400. You had your time. Now the Most High is going to show out even more, and as he's going to be showing out, he's going to be bringing us up so that people can understand and see who he's dealing with, who he's protecting, who are his children. You guys have been able to ignore, ignore, ignore. You've been able to ignore us for the last 500 plus years. You've been trying your best to ignore us the last, year where the Most High shut everything down. Now the big thing is Asians and how bad they've had it. That shows there's no righteousness in you. You should say already, you know what? These are the Most High's chosen children. We've hidden that information from you. If you want to get any kind of mercy, you need to follow their power and you need to cleave to the Most High's children. You don't hear that anywhere. People, all these supposed Bible scholars and everything else, you don't hear them talking about the truth at all. They have hope. They don't have any faith in anything. They just have hope. And their hope is to return back to the way things were. It's not going to happen. Never again will we be under your subjection, under your rulership. Those aren't my words. That's what's in the scriptures. I know you're having a hard time grasping that concept. Grasping that terminology about your reign being over. That's why this new year is so significant. We saw huge movements in March of last year, and that was pretty much just you know, a bellwether, little precursor to this year. Last March 2020 is just leading up to the big event. You got the undercard on wrestling, got the little undercard on UFC, got the little, undercard. That's what last year was. Now the bright lights are out. The undercard is over. During that time of the undercard, you had your opportunity to admit the truth, to try to atone. But your refusal is now opening you up to being the pretty much the subject of the main event. You guys are going to be the weaklings. Glass Joe is going to come in here against the Most High. It's be Glass Joe against Mike Tyson. And we already know how that's going to end. Glass Joe has been talking a lot of mess. Glass Joe has been talking a big game. Glass Joe has been saying he going to take down Tyson. Well, now Glass Joe, I'm sure, is going to be shaking in his boots real quick. I'm loving the Most High. I'm loving the way he works. I'm loving what he's showing us as a nation. You can see that battle already setting up, and we know how quickly they fall. We know how quickly, their knees and their legs are going to buckle when the Most High hits them with that right cross. Most High hits him with that uppercut. Because, as you watch the news, it's nothing but, even to today, even with numbers going up, 50% in places, they're still trying to just act like that's just an uptick. That's just, that's okay. That's just an uptick. When do you ever see numbers go up 50% in a week? But see, when you've been on top so long and you've been able to just push out lies and no one ever checks you, and as you can tell, these news, stations are all set up to just perpetuate the lie. They have an agenda, they have a lie, and then the news channels just repeat it over and over again, making people believe that, hey, you know what? It must be true. I mean, I know the numbers are going up all over the place, but we must be okay because they say so on the news. Just like people believing that, they're Christians and that they're going to be going, they're going to be getting raptured soon. They're not going to have to pay for anything. Why is that? Because the churches just they're like looping the same information over and over again. They don't prove anything. Not one of them has proven that we are not the people. No one has gone to the scriptures and proven that we are not the Most High's chosen children. They just loop the same information. Give me that Paul all the time. Let me just, that's not what Paul meant to say. This is what he really meant. That's what you get when you go to church. But see, now the churches are being used by the government to push the vaccine. I've never heard so many people act like people don't have they don't have the right to just say no. Supposedly it was all about your freedoms, America. Remember, you guys can do whatever you guys want. You're Americans. America. I love America because I can do whatever the hell I want. Well, now you're starting to realize you can't do whatever the hell you want, and you're not allowed to have your own opinion. And the government, is letting you know that. That just right there shows you that the 400 years of their reign and being able to just say whatever. I mean, that's what they've been doing the whole time, just saying whatever the hell they want to say, and no one questions them, and everyone pretty much just falls lockstep and does what they say. And it worked great when you guys were all Confederate against the Most High's chosen people. Now the Most High is making you fight with each other. See, before, white people, Asians, Europeans that are there now, all the other nations, Africans, all of them were Confederate against the Most High's chosen people. So when you have like one group of people to hate and to exploit, it makes it much easier for the conglomerate to stay together. But when the Most High starts to wake up his people, he starts to protect them, and he starts to turn you on one another, that conglomerate is now null and void. And now they're going against each other. So, now you guys are fighting with each other about racism and everything else. I said, and that's good. I said, that's just the Most High. I've never seen like a society that hates the Most High like you see now worldwide. You don't hear anyone saying, you know what? My churches aren't working. Science isn't working. I need to do some research and find out what's going on here because maybe I've been lied to. That's what we're seeing. Well, that's not what we've seen, but I venture to say we're probably going to see that pretty soon. Because now, like I said, we moved into the last 3.5 years. We're going to see things on a grand scale. And see, what I've noticed, and I'm going to start doing more videos again on some of these other books, is that there was so much magic and things that were like, just otherworldly that was happening. It seemed to be like commonplace. You had your healers, you had your magicians. A lot of these things that they put in mythology were things that were happening, things that our people were doing. And those kinds of events have been hidden through history, pretty much written out of history, but they really haven't been playing out as much even you know, here in the world. But I'm going to venture to say that we're going to start to see much more, many more events that are going to seem like, magic, and we're going to see these kinds of things happening worldwide because what happened with Moses during the plagues, many of the things that he was calling forth seemed like magic, seemed otherworldly. Competitions between our God and the other nations' powers. We're going to see those kinds of things, which is going to open the eyes of the other nations. And I know we are as a nation are ready to see our power go to work. We're ready to see our lands being swept off from this other nation being swept off of our lands. We want to see that huge broom that the Most High is about to bring. He's been using that small broom before, but the big broom is next up. The people who don't belong here, the people who are not down with the Most High, they are definitely about to see some things they've never seen before, some things they've never imagined. You're going to see these plagues start to just sweep people off the lands even more. If you thought 500,000 or 500,000 people was a lot, remember now these next plagues are 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times as contagious. So what do you think? What kind of numbers do you think we're going to see now? We're going to see the Most High protecting His people, like Psalms 91. See, when the Spaniards came here, they were spreading their diseases. They were spreading their diseases to the people of Tenochtitlan when they got there. And it didn't seem like it was hitting them as hard when the Spaniards were first there, but they were spreading their plague. And then later on, the Most High, swept our people off the lands, and that's what's happening. That's about to happen again. But I'll be coming back again, brethren. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.